This is my 1977 Datsun 280Z. Bought the car in 2010, so I've had it about 14 years now. It is for sale, and I'm going to go over the exterior of the car, any rust spots, because I imagine if you're interested in this car, that's going to be your main concern. And then I'll go on to say like the interior. Last, I'm going to do the engine, because there's a ton of work done there. Most of y'all probably don't care too much, so that's why I'll save it for last. All right, so let's get started. All right, exterior wise, and forgive me for my voice, I'm recovering from a cold. It is a pretty clean example of a nearly 50-year-old car. This is a Zap, which was a special kind of badged edition of the Z car in 1977. It has some of the decals, not all of them. So the one on the hood here, I believe it's supposed to extend up onto the cowl and onto the roof here, but you can see it was, I believe, removed by the dealer when they put in this stupid sunroof. I'm not a fan of it. But it is on part of the back hatch, not down here and not over there. Then on the sides here, this fender here was replaced before I bought it. It is a metal fender, and I believe a fiberglass. Actually, I could be lying. That might be metal. One of these is fiberglass. Maybe they're both metal. Okay, I've had the car 14 years. Give me a little bit of slack here. I'll try to be as honest as I can. So this was for a battery cutoff switch that I since removed because that was too much race car for me. And you can see little pits, a little rust here and there on the car. They're kind of all over the place, but that's about as bad as it gets. And I will do the worst rust first here, actually. Let me get that through. So there's these little pits here and there. There's this weird scratch here on the roof, or maybe they removed the decals. I'm not too sure. There's these holes and difference in paint condition. You can see where I removed the little bumper siding things. And on the fenders, and I will remove the wheels to get a better look in a minute, but there is some surface rust on there where I rolled the fenders soon after I got this vehicle, and I have regrets for that. Have the light here, you can see they're in great shape otherwise from where I rolled them, which that is just surface rust. All right, here is the passenger side. And while we're here, this is where the axle broke and impacted the chassis. It broke that fuel line, which I've replaced. That's nickel copper nickel, one of those. And you can see it dented the seam there a little bit, but other than that, well, in the bracket, that was all the damage, so pretty lucky. Onto the fenders. Same story as the driver's side. All of the rust here is on this side's not nearly as bad, actually, on the rolling, on where I rolled the fenders, which I do regret. And I did spray some of the rust there to keep it from getting worse. On the back is the original bumper, period correct bumper sticker, toe ball in case you're into that, and it's all pretty much stock back there body wise. Fuel filler, we got some rust there. Pretty good condition. I actually had the complete rubber there. It fell off, I don't know, 3 years ago or something like that. It fell off in my ownership. And looks pretty good in there. On to the rest of the passenger side. No mirrors, remove those. You don't really need them in this car. You just turn your head. There's not a whole lot of blind spots. Same deal with the little siding door bumper things that are ugly, which is why I removed them. Here we have the exact decals on this side that go the full length of the vehicle. I'm gonna come up to the front fender here. I don't think I did the other side, but I still have the liners on this vehicle, and looks pretty good up here. And then here where the front bumper's removed, the hello horns, zip-tied coolant bottle, overflow bottle there, and you can see the intercooler. Oh, yeah, and here is a very prominent crack in the windshield. That is from filming like a time lapse of doing some brake work, and I had the tripod for the camera pretty precariously positioned. Anyway, it fell over, hit the windshield, and I was very pissed, and that was about the end of my time doing time lapses of this vehicle. Anyway, overall, very good shape. Dated paint, obviously. Oh, and rocker panels here are in good shape. There is some overspray where I sprayed some Rust-Oleum on there, and it looks like shit, but it is what it is. I'll just get the whole thing here. Lots of little rock chips here and there, but it is solid. Here's the passenger side. Again, rock chips, but overall very solid. And all right, so the other area of rust is this hatch. So these louvers aren't the original ones on the vehicle. They are the same as the original ones. I found these louvers, I don't know, on eBay or something, and they fit up exactly. Like the locks here and everything did not have to drill new holes or anything like that. And they are aluminum. So this is what I would say, in my opinion, the worst rust is on the vehicle. Oh, fuck. The underside of the hatch here, where clearly some water got in and, you know, through the louvers probably, because it's just drilled through the sheet metal, and just sat in the back here. But over here on the vehicle side, this is mint. I've seen these in pretty bad condition. This is in great condition. And it's the same for the whole circumference here. It's a really good gel. I would stand by that. And you lift this up. So very clean under here. It's really cool to see kind of the original color that this car was. It's not all faded like the exterior. I do not have any of the tools, the spare tire, none of that. And it does look like there's some dents here that I don't know how you would do that. They're not for me. All right, onto the interior. Doors are in great shape. Door cards are in great shape. There's like no rust here, none on the sill. This is all in good shape here. The door seals are, they're okay. I do have some of the Kia ones that people replace them with. And I mean, I'll throw those in. I don't have anything to use those for, so. Same situation with the passenger side here. It's in great shape. No rust. And I can't really see what I'm filming because it's kind of tight over here. And I do not have like a stabilized camera, so it's probably shaky AF. But good condition. Seals are in okay condition. Obviously cracked and very old. And the windows do roll up and down. The passenger side, I believe, is a little more difficult than the driver's side, but they both work. There's the Megasquirt ECU, which I hate saying that word. It's been kind of customized in here. I do have some of the panels, as I said earlier, to cover some of this up. Oh, I did replace some of the, I'll get into that later, but I replaced some of the fuses with like AGU fuses. And again, this is new carpet that I put in soon after I got the vehicle. Dashboard is very worn. It did have a cap on it, which I removed, and it took some of the dash with it. It's got some cracks in the middle here. These are all speed hut gauges. All, let's see, 6, 7, 8 of them. Yeah. Big speed hut fan. Love their gauges. That switch is for the launch control, so it is functional and very fast and furious-y. The HVAC, I mean, it works. There's no air conditioning, so it doesn't get cold. I believe the temperature selector, the cable is bent, so that is stuck in that position. I have the knobs for these somewhere. No guarantees I can find them though. So it works, the heat works, that's about all you can get. Headliner is in great shape. Visors, here they are. Everything there is pretty good shape. Rear view mirror. One of my favorite things about these is you can just pop this out when you're doing an autocross, and it's out of the way. All right, now I'll go into more of the technical. These are all speed hut gauges, like I said. The Speedo's GPS, and just hooked into the turn signals here. There's 2 green LEDs and a blue LED for the brights, which are functional. This is the Perfect B controller, which is sort of period correct for the 90s. I love these things. I do not like the ones with the display on them. I did not think that would look great in this car. So that's why that's there, and that works. I believe low boost is around 10 PSI. The spring is 8, if I'm not mistaken, the wastegate spring. So low is 10 and high is 12 or 14. Didn't play with high boost too much. There's the Megasquirt. There's the, I'm just gonna say it, rat's nest of wires hooked to it. I reused the original harness as much as I could. I did not want to run new wires. Do I have a wiring diagram? Probably not. So sorry about that. All right, so that's the interior of the car. I think now I will go over the engine bay, and this will take a lot of time because there's a lot done in there. This is a VG33 from, I don't know, Nissan Frontier from the early 2000s. That's a Nissan Maxima intake. So I built this car in college. I think I finished, originally had a VG30 from a 300ZX that I finished in, I don't know, 2012. And that was a parts car motor that just happened to run, very low compression. Blew the head gasket on that and decided to do a VG33, which has some slight differences in the crank and, you know, obviously displacement, but otherwise is kind of plug and play. Like I said, I did this in college, so there's some clear, more functional than form parts on it that I'm not gonna say I'm the proudest. I did all the welding, all the custom welding here you see for the exhaust, intake, everything I did. Well, wait, am I allowed to, can I say the bad welds aren't mine? No, I did all of it. All these pie cuts, meh. So chassis-wise, it is pretty clean in here. You can see some exhaust spraying the fenders, the inner fenders here. There's the clutch master, which is stock. That is a Willwood 1-inch master cylinder. 280ZX brake booster. There's some custom lines in there to hook up to the, if I can get it in the shot, there's a Willwood proportioning valve because the rear does have a disc conversion. All right, if you look down in there, there's AN lines for the remote oil filter, which is over there. I believe that's a 240SX oil filter adapter. And that's where the leak is. So there's like some RTV and some welds and some stuff on there where, like, full disclosure, I welded on the cast aluminum oil pump, a brand new one. Still came out kind of like shit, and it leaks. Leaks from that connection there. It's like, I don't know, a drop every 30 seconds, a drop a minute, or something like that. And it's just not worth me fixing. So that's how it'll stay. You see the ATI super damper there. My one accessory, the alternator, which has a custom mount on it, which is not the greatest looking, but does the job. And one of the big flaws with this vehicle, with this engine rather, is to change the alternator belt, you gotta drain the coolant. No way around it. You gotta take that pipe off. So not too happy with that, but you know, as far as compromises go for all the piping that's in this car, it's not too terrible for a college kid to do. So over here, go where there's the battery with a sort of custom mount. We have the Fuel Lab fuel regulator, the sensor for the gauge, all the lines there. These are all, these stainless steel lines are PTFE. They're not rubber, so they're compatible with E85. That's a check valve right there. There's another fuel pre-injector filter over there somewhere. Wow, there it is. That goes to the rail here. If you can see it, there's a big aluminum rail in the back. And then to get to the other side, it has to come out here, loop around, and go around the back, which is pretty ugly, but it works. It was just too hard to get a fuel line across to the other side there. As for cooling, it's got two E-fans on here. It's controlled by Megasquirt. It's all automatic. They're set to more or less the stock fan temperatures for the 300ZX. This car does not have any problems with overheating. I mean, this is a giant radiator. No issues. Can sit in Texas heat all day long. And over here you can see the Innovate LC1 that is hooked up right down there. I haven't replaced that sensor in years, so that would probably be something you would want to do. Up under there are the stock dropping resistors for the injectors, and those are used for these injectors, which are, I don't know, 650s or 750s? I can't remember exactly. All right, underside is what you see here. We got lots of oil coating everything. But the frame rails and everything are in great shape. Driver's side. You can see where the undercoating is rubbed off, but the steel is in great shape. So here's the exhaust. There's the stainless downpipe. Comes down here, got a flex pipe. I don't know, MagnaFlow or something, chambered muffler. And it goes out there. And there's another kind of cherry bomb style muffler at the end. while I have these wheels off, might as well tell you about them. So these are Epsilon mesh 16x8 all around. They are 3-piece wheels. Shitty lighting, hold on. They are genuine 3-piece wheels. I believe 2 of them were rebarreled. They were originally, I don't know, 7 inches wide or something. They got the 8-inch barrel on them. Yeah, I think it might be this one actually, because it says 7 on there by 16, but it's actually 8, because these are 225s. 225s, and they fit, you know, pretty well on here. So I don't think those are 7s. Obviously, they are showing their age. They could be cleaned up, but they're in great condition. And I have all these on all 4. So those fuel lines come back here to the sump, which is a pretty ugly sump. I had a third party do it and had them coat the tank, and it is just rusted and it's a piece of shit. I'm not gonna lie. If I had to do it again, I would not sump the tank. It's 2 race car, and this is your lowest point on the vehicle. So getting onto trailers is fun. All right, now I'm gonna do a cold start. In lieu of my foot on the throttle, I have my cold start valve, which is a zip tie against the throttle stop. Here we go. I'll drive it around a little bit so you can get an idea of what's up with the gears, how it drives, you know, at least a little impression of that. Can't really drive it far because it's not insured. So first gear likes to pop out like that, but you can avoid it by not doing a hard throttle off. It does make boost, but this is my neighborhood, so no. Here's another way I can show boost. You do the clutch and then it's more than X amount of throttle. And if you saw that smoke, obviously it's great for your turbo and everything. Okay, almost forgot the parts that come with this, if you so choose. So main thing here is a new fuel tank. It's steel. It's from S30 World, S30.World. I have these stock coilovers with the drum brakes. I do have the drum brake covers. I have one half shaft, and it's the only one that's intact. The other one someone bought, the broken one. Mustache bar, stock one, with urethane mounts in it. I have the stock sway bars. I lied earlier in the video. I do have the spare tire kit, like the wheel chocks and the lug wrench. And then here I have the wipers. I have some T3 hooks. I have some new headlights. I have plastic interior pieces. That's for the steering wheel. I have a new set of mirrors from MSA, I think. The mirrors that mount in the little triangle corners. The rest of the interior pieces, those are the shock tower covers, some HVAC piping, and those are the like Kia something or other door seals that you can put in this car, supposedly. Haven't tried them, they're still in the bags. I have the stock steering rack, and I have that little divider, the cargo divider. So also have a bucket of bolts if you're interested in that. We have some of the extra parts from T3 and Apex Engineered to help you do an alignment, spacers and whatnot. And I think that's it. Anything else I find or I can remember, I will update it.